Okay, so I think we're going to get started. Welcome to the Promethean OneCloud webinar. My name is Mike Cook. I'm with Promethean Analytics. Our featured speakers today will be Jerry VML. He's the Managing Director here at Promethean. And then we also have Quinlan Eddy, who is the CEO of OneCloud. I'm going to let them introduce themselves in a second. But first of all, I just kind of want to walk through the agenda. We're going to spend a majority of our time going through a solution demonstration of OneCloud and how it works with PBCS. But before we jump into that, we're going to give you just a little bit of background information on Promethean, our solution accelerators, and then Quinn's going to talk a little bit about what OneCloud is. We're going to wrap up just on how to get started, and then we'll open it up to Q&A as well. So just real quickly, a little bit on Promethean. We are an implementation partner. We focus just on the EPM products of Oracle, Oracle's EPM products and NetSuite as well. And longtime partner, we've been working with the suite of products since the Arbor days, way back when. They're the original developers of Essbase and then merged with Hyperion and then got purchased by Oracle. The average tenure of our folks on our team has an experience level of about 18 years. So we've been working with the solutions ever since it was an on-premise solution and now to the cloud as well. So a lot of years in terms of experience with our company. Beyond implementations, we do things such as advisory. So we help a lot of companies maybe put together a business case to help understand what the ROI might be of putting together a new project. We also help a lot of existing customers that may have an application that needs updating, or they want to have some enhancements, or if they want to, do a migration from the on-premise to the cloud as well. We also have support as well in terms of managed services. So some of our larger customers, we're an extension of their help desk, and then we also have training and education as well. One of the things that we've done as an organization is pre-build some applications within PBCS, and it's really sort of a quick start program. We've incorporated a lot of best practices around in different areas, such as doing merchandise planning. We've got applications in higher education, as well as things for food and beverage and restaurants and hospitality as well. So we incorporate all these best practices. We pre-build as much as we can, so there's a lot of pre-built forms and calculations and dashboards. We make the applications very easy to use, so we leverage a lot of the capability that's existing in SmartView, which is the Office integration. And all of the applications are configurable, so we're not reinventing the wheel. We're not doing any customizations. Basically, what we do is get you to a point where you're 70% there, and then the other 30% is configuring it to your environment. Everything's kind of brought together through OneCloud. So the core automation that OneCloud provides allows us to create truly a cloud application. So we're not doing any of the out-of-the-box tools that are available within PBCS. Everything's on the cloud. The great thing that we see and the huge benefit with our customers is it's all maintained by the business as well. So it eliminates some of the need for IT to get involved in terms of getting integration and getting the files available for you. That's a little bit on our company. You can also visit our website at Promethean Analytics, and I'm going to turn it over to Quinlan Eddy right now to talk a little bit about OneCloud.
Terrific. Thanks, Mike, for that introduction. It's been great to work with Promethean on all the various solutions here, especially on the Oracle EPM stack. And just a little bit more about OneCloud. So we are an iPaaS technology, so integration platform as a service. And what we really focus on are the applications tend to be used in the office of the CFO or accounting departments or performance management arenas. Oftentimes, these applications are put together with a bunch of point-to-point integration and so forth. And what we do is we bring all that together into a single platform, into a single location of basically command and control, so that you can have one location to schedule, to automate, to integrate, and really ultimately accelerate your overall integration between the various different application stacks. And Promethean has definitely come up with a great solution here, which I'm really excited about sharing here today. And just a little bit about just the applications we do support. Typically cutting across different types of applications, anything like file storage, so your typical OneDrives or corporate box accounts, to various systems of record. And that could be cloud-based applications like Workday or Oracle Financials Cloud, to on-premise, to, for example, eBusiness Suite or SAP. We also have native bidirectional integration with relational technologies, and the ability to work very carefully and very closely with the performance management applications, especially the legacy Hyperion, like planning and so forth, in combination with the modern technologies like Oracle EPM Cloud and other performance management apps. Basically then taking it to the last mile of reporting across BI financial reporting and Workiva and so forth. But basically the whole thing is taking and connecting these applications together, so you have a single location that you can have a command and control location of these applications.
So now we're going to turn it over to Jerry VML, and he's going to jump in the demo. He's just going to kind of walk through some of the cloud versus on-premise automation, and then he'll jump right into the demo. Jerry?
Thank you, Mike. So again, my name is Jerry VML. For the purpose of laying the foundation for the demonstration, I just wanted to go through and talk to kind of the differences between what OneCloud brings to the table versus typical on-premise automation tools that are available at a number of our clients. The beauty of OneCloud is that it's all browser-based, it's graphical, it's literally led by the business team, whereas a number of our clients that have automation tools in place or scheduling tools, they always have to reach out to the IT organization to manage, make changes to a specific automation. It becomes a bit frustrating. So, for example, one of our clients, we had to actually go in and update an automation to add a new file that's coming from a different system. So we had to create the automation, we had to interface with the IT team, we had to go through and do a number of test cycles to validate that everything was working correctly, just to get everything coordinated and in sync. I wouldn't say it's a nightmare, but it's just an additional process that we have to actually run through. With OneCloud, that's all eliminated. Everything's driven by the business team. It's owned by the business team. When it comes to enhancements, the OneCloud team is constantly adding enhancements to the OneCloud infrastructure. So new business apps are coming in. If we need to have additional commands added, we reach out to the development team, and then we coordinate, and then they incorporate, and it's just almost seamless. We just love working with the OneCloud team. Secondly, in regards to connectors and biz apps, for anybody that's actually worked with anything EPM, you'll understand that we pull data from multiple data sources around the organization and the enterprise. And those data sources can be cloud sources, they can be on-premise sources. So we needed something that was flexible, that allows us to be able to connect to all those sources, and also flexible enough that allows us to go through and add a business app over time. So OneCloud brings all that to the table. It's extremely easy to use, very easy to schedule and integrate into your existing systems like email, like your on-premise systems and your existing cloud infrastructure. Mike? So next slide, please.
Yep, so, we're going to jump into the demo. Let me stop sharing here, Jerry, and then if you could take it.
Perfect, I'll do that. So as part of this, I'm going to go into a demonstration of a typical startup of OneCloud. So a lot of our clients, either they have existing automation tools or scheduling tools, and we've gone through, and as part of our accelerator package, we've actually put together a number of integrations within OneCloud that if our clients purchase the use of OneCloud, we give them those integrations. So, but at times we have some of our existing clients that already have pre-built on-premise automation scripts, and they want to know, well, how easy is it to go through and take our existing scripts and integrate it directly into OneCloud. So the beauty of that is OneCloud allows us to take our existing automation scripts and we can integrate it as what we refer to as a point and run. Okay, so if we just basically point OneCloud to our automation script and it literally runs it, it can log any issues, it can email the client when it's completed. So it's super simple. So let's actually go through and show you how that is done. So as I'm coming through, I'm actually going to very quickly show you the OneCloud environment. I've actually logged in already into my OneCloud portal. So you can see here very quickly that these are all the scripts. We can call, they call them change, but for us folks that are familiar with on-premise environments, it's batch script in a way, but OneCloud's taken it to the next level. So here we're running our individual automation scripts. It actually shows me all the successes I've had over time, my failures. Obviously, we're in a development environment, so we have a lot of failures. It also identifies all the commands that have been run and gives me a log, activity log of everything that's been run on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. So at a moment's notice, I can literally come into my portal and see exactly what has been run and what has failed. It also gives us the ability to set up unique workspaces. So depending on the number of implementations we have within a client, we may have a unique workspace for each one of those implementations. For example, when we're in our restaurant and hospitality, we may have a specific workspace that is typical to the R&H team, or we may have a workspace for the financials team. So because obviously we're integrating that into all our accelerators. When we're talking about merchandise, we're going to have multiple teams, and we want to have unique workspaces for those teams so that we can track their automations and manage their chains. We can always go through and look at the monitor. It actually tells me everything that is available that has been run on a daily basis. It shows me what has succeeded, what has failed, if there's any warnings, etc. It'll automatically show that, so I can very quickly navigate to those jobs that have been running on a daily basis. We can schedule jobs. So I can have jobs scheduled where I can literally run it on an hourly basis, on a daily basis, launch it on the first day of each month, et cetera, et cetera. So that's all built within the tool. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go into one of our chains. I'm going to show you two chains. And the first chain is a point and run chain. And it's going to be kind of like the whole, cooking show approach. I'm going to actually show you one that's already built, and I'm actually going to bring you into one that is partially built. We're going to add a command in there. Okay, so here's an example of the point and run that's already fully built. I'm just going to click on edit here. And what you'll see immediately within your screen, it's a beautifully graphically oriented palette. So shows me all my individual commands. This is a connector that says, hey, start with this and then move to this. So the very first command, when I click in here, this is my script that I'm pointing OneCloud to. So that script resides on a on-premise server that I'm saying, hey, I have this script that's located here. Let's go through, point OneCloud to that script so that it can fire it off, okay? Now the beauty here is also it can take variables. So here you'll see that I have a variable that identifies my automation directory and then another variable that identifies my scripts directory. So here I'm going to just go through here. If I just cut this out and say, hey, where is my script located? So I can just point to this variable that I've created. It's located in my automation directory. And then within my automation directory, I have a scripts directory. So I want to fire that off. And then I'm just going to go through and say, this is the script that I want run. So it's very simple to do. So I'm just going to click here, save. And then in this, it also has, as part of the script, and I'm going to show you what that script is, it also has a log file. So therefore, I can see what is airing out, what is being completed. So I can actually have OneCloud go through and display the log in the same screen. So instead of having my administrator have to go to 2 different locations, they can see everything within their portal, okay? So let's actually look at that script before I fire this off. So this is an example of that exact same script. As you can see here, we have some set commands. You know, obviously for those that are not familiar with batch scripts, it can be a little overwhelming, but this is just setting some parameters, setting some specific rule names, etc. And then it's going through logging me in, loading files, deleting files, and then firing off a load process, okay? So all this is managed within the script. We can actually, when the client is ready, we can take everything that's in this script, and instead of doing a point and run, we can actually create an optimized, more efficient process within OneCloud that allows us to take everything that was in that script and actually go through here and script everything within OneCloud. And the beauty of this is the exact same contents within that script, but in a very graphical nature. It allows us to go through and set parameters for what happens if a particular command errors out or is successful. Do I want it to immediately email me as soon as each command is successful, or email me at the start or finish of this particular routine? Okay, so let's actually go through and fire off that exact same point and run script. So I'm going to go click in here. I can either launch it from within, which that's what I want to do here, because I want you to see exactly how this is run, because it actually kind of walks through this. So I'm just going to click on run here. And what this is doing is it's actually finding my script, okay, and now launching that script against my cloud environment. And as it's going through, it's deleting some files within my EPM cloud. It's taking files from my on-premise system, sending it up to the cloud. It's then going through, running that data load process. And then after the data load process is complete, it actually will then go through and generate a log file. And then that log file will then be brought up to the cloud, where I can then view that log file directly within my portal stream. So as you can see here, my automation script has completed. It has then gone through, generated the log file, and now I have the ability to display that log file. If I click on each one of these, it gives me the ability to look at, when did it run, when, if there's any logs that it tracked, and then I can actually go to the specific log file. And this is a log file that was generated within the script. I can actually see that right here, okay? And that you can actually see it on your phone, on your tablet, on your phablet. It's available anywhere. So as an administrator, if I'm in Hawaii sitting on a beach and a particular job is running, I want to see what is the status of that. First, it's going to email me, letting me know if it's successful or failed. And secondly, if there was a failure, I can immediately go through my phablet and look at the log and determine what transpired, okay? So it's just an amazing tool. I love it. So as we're going in here, we're going into the build, I'm actually going to show you how easy it is to update one of these chains. So I'm just going to click on my edit here. And you'll see here that it's actually going through this exact same thing I showed you earlier, but it's only launching the automation script, okay? It's still logging the script, so the log is actually being created within that automation script. But for me to see the log, I have to actually go into my desktop or my laptop, go to the directory, find the log file, and then bring it up. Here I'm going to go through and I'm going to add in the ability to see that log directly within OneCloud. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just click here. You'll see here all my business apps are available here on the left-hand side. You'll notice that all those apps are coordinated in the fact that I can actually go to all my EPM applications here. All the basic applications for file utility, etc., are located towards the top. So I'm just going to go through, click on file utilities, and I'm going to click on list file content. Okay. So I'm just going to go through, I'm just going to drag it onto my screen. Okay. You'll notice that there's no connector yet. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to configure this. So I'm just going to double click here. And then what it's going to do is any file that I specify in here, it's going to display the content. So I'm just going to go into my workspace. I'm going to specify that I'm going to go to my automation directory, add that in there. And then instead of going to scripts, I'm going to go to logs. And I'm just going to go through, and I'm going to paste in my, my log file. Okay, so let me actually show what that log file is. 1 second. I apologize. I had it in memory, and I went through and put something else in memory. So let's go through here. And I now have that. I'm going to just paste it in. So there's my log. Click on save. And I'm just going to connect it. And it's as simple as that. All I have to do is just publish it. And if I want to execute it directly from my palette here within OneCloud, I can go through and launch that job. I'm going to spare you the 30 to 40 or so seconds that it takes to go through and run that. But that's basically it. I basically took one of my existing scripts, I pointed OneCloud to that script, and then I asked OneCloud to actually bring the log into its portal, so therefore I can visibly see that log through OneCloud versus having to go into my Explorer and go find the file and bring that up. Okay, so it's super simple, very easy to go through and get yourself started within OneCloud. So let's actually go through and let's get back to the PowerPoint presentation. So how do we get started? So it's super simple. We've actually asked some of our clients that are interested in this to just create a 30-day trial so that therefore they can go through and get a understanding of how OneCloud works. We bring in our existing automation scripts that are already part of our accelerators. We load it in there, we fire it off, and they can actually see it working and directly within their system and scheduled. It's a very simple process. So all you have to do is go to your very first thing is just go to OneCloud.io trial. Just click on this link. This PowerPoint presentation will be available to you, and you can download it. And then what we'll do is we have to configure a runner for your environment. What is a runner? So basically, if you have existing automation scripts, we need to tell OneCloud where those scripts are. So we'll put a small little task runner that's on your desktop or on your remote server, and it will basically talk to OneCloud. The third step is we're just going to create a quick build chain that allows us to point that OneCloud to that particular file. And then if necessary, we can go through and add in the log. So therefore it's immediately available within your browser, and then you're done. I mean, the final step is really taking advantage of all the feature functionality within OneCloud and leveraging the native OneCloud commands. So they've actually gone through and taken a lot of the commands that are currently within EPM Automate or some of the other tools like Anaplan or Adaptive or some of the additional biz apps that they have available to you. And they've taken those commands that we normally automate, and they've incorporated it within OneCloud. And I say Adaptive because at times we actually go through, and some of our customers have asked us to pull data out of Adaptive to move it into Oracle EPM, or we've been asked to pull data out of our EPM application suite and push it into Tableau. So everything is available in one location. So it's very easy to go in and automate. So with that said, I'm through with my portion of the demonstration. I will now open it up for Q&A. Quinn, Mike?
Yeah, we did get a couple of questions, so appreciate everyone submitting the questions. It looks like the first one is, does OneCloud work with on-premise systems like Essbase and Hfm? So Jerry or Quinn, do you guys want to answer that one?
Quinn, you can start and I can add color to it.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. So both just a little nice little historical thing. Jerry and I used to work for the same authors that actually built Essbase, Arbor Software. So if that's of interest to you, I'd love to talk more about that. But the answer is absolutely yes. OneCloud does support Essbase. It can bidirectionally import and export data into and out of Essbase, run calculation scripts, report scripts, MDX scripts, set variables, and so forth. Basically, all the stuff that you can do inside Maxell can be done with OneCloud, and in fact, even execute native Maxell scripts or through the Maxell language. Jerry, do you want to add anything else?
Yeah. So in regards to getting started, the beauty of OneCloud, again, with the point and run, is that you can actually take your existing Maxell scripts or batch scripts and just point OneCloud directly to those scripts, and then you're literally 90% there. Obviously, to really take advantage of the capabilities within OneCloud, you'll want to actually use the native commands, because then you can actually trap errors. You can have the ability to identify what happens if a particular command failed or succeeded. It can create fork processes from there. So yeah, the answer is absolutely yes. Next question, Mike.
Perfect. Yeah, we got a few more questions. This one is, does OneCloud support Workday and Anaplan?
Well, if you looked at
yes,
the business apps.
Yeah, so absolutely. OneCloud does support both technologies to get data out of Workday, like custom reports that can be used in other technologies like Anaplan. And OneCloud does 100% support Anaplan and its REST API, and be able to bidirectionally integrate data back and forth. So again, really supporting that Office of the CFO or FP&A departments.
And the beauty of OneCloud is that if there isn't an existing biz app available, you always have the ability to create your own commands via the REST API and integrate that within OneCloud. So we have actually some requirements where we need to push data into a target system that currently is not in OneCloud from a biz app perspective, but we have the flexibility of leveraging the REST API to do that and then integrating it directly into OneCloud.
Perfect. And we got, this is our last question, but someone wanted to know the pricing. So I assume that's you, Quinn?
Sure, yeah, I'm absolutely happy to answer that one. We make it pretty easy. Just go to onecloud.io, which is our homepage, and then click on pricing. There are links all over the page as well, but basically you can get started very easily through the trial. Try it out yourself, and then after that, if it works for you, speak with us, speak with Promethean. They're a trusted partner and great to work with. And as mentioned earlier, I've been working with Jerry for many, many years now, going way back to the mid-90s. So with that, I think we're at the bottom of the hour. Pass it back to you, Mike.
Yeah, so I just want to thank everyone for jumping on the webcast today. We really appreciate everyone's time. We will send a follow-up email with our contact information if you wanted to pursue, trying to get started, and we can kind of go from there. So again, appreciate everyone's time, and that concludes our webcast for today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.